Oh, welcome to Deprogrammed. My name is Justin Wilson, and today we're going to be talking about Weezer. And before we hop in, if you've got a spare dollar and you enjoy this program and any of the other programs on Radio Free Radio, we would greatly appreciate it if you went to patreon.com/Radio Free Radio and pledged $1. It would be super appreciated, and it helps us to get better equipment. It helps us just keep going, really. It's the more people in, the merrier. We want this to really be your station, and what better way for you to feel like your voice is out there than tossing in $1, and we'll listen to you. So we're talking about Weezer today, and I was trying to think to myself, what does Weezer really mean to me? And they are absolutely, when you break it down, they're absolutely in my top 5 bands of all time, and there's no argument there. But what do they mean to me? Where do I connect? Is it just Pinkerton? Is it all the records? I don't know. And I had a great time just going through. I went for the first time ever in this due to this conversation. From the first time ever, I went and listened all the way from blue to red, front to back. And joining me today, we've got Zach Jones of Little Pants.
Hello.
He's going to be talking with us, and we've got Matt Wade of Radio Free Radio.
Hi. I feel like I've never left this microphone.
Yeah. We've been a lot on the radio this week.
I gotta tell you, I hate that you're talking right now.
Yeah?
Because you've got my favorite song being played by my favorite band.
It's insane, right?
It's insane.
This is mine, and they nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, this is an outstanding cover.
Definitely.
It's like right on point.
And a hard song to cover.
Dude, I was
never call it cover this, even if I had any musical talent.
I looked up the tabs once and I was like,
Nope.
Nah. Nope.
Not interested.
No, very interested, just not talented enough. So let's fade that one out. But so why don't you guys tell me a little bit about what Weezer means to you? What Weezer means to you? Zach, if you wanted to start, because I know you're a massive Weezer. As a matter of fact, we spent most of the time on YMS talking about Weezer.
Yeah. Weezer is definitely my favorite band. My favorite band that is still producing music. Like, my favorite band is the Beatles, but that's old stuff. I don't know. That's a very interesting question about like what Weezer means to me. I know that Weezer is really the reason I even play music.
Well,
So
that's
they
a big
mean
one.
A great deal. Yeah, it's hard to really like. I remember the very first moment. I was getting into music, getting into the Beatles and Nirvana and stuff around like 6th grade, and this is around 2000. And music was something I was just getting into and really enjoyed. But it wasn't until I late at night snuck out of bed and went downstairs and turned on the TV, and I caught Saturday Night Live, and it was the Christopher Walken episode. And the very first number by the musical guest was Hash Pipe by Weezer.
Wow.
And, I remember thinking, oh, yeah, I remember this band because my brother used to show me their stuff back in '94 when the Blue Album came out, but I was so young and it just never registered. And then the opening strumming, the dun, 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 and then you see this geeky guy, and I believe he was wearing like a Boy Scout uniform and these black rimmed glasses, and it just struck me so that I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, I saw myself in him, and I thought, yeah, because the Beatles were by my perception old, and Nirvana is like, that was just too cool, too grungy for I could, and the nerd aesthetic was really when it was like, oh, like I could do this. So that was really that set me on the path. Definitely.
Matt?
Well, I was a huge fan of the Blue Album because the Blue Album came out at a time. '94 was just a crazy year for alternative rock, and especially here because we'd gotten 96X the year before, around 93. So things were really blowing up. I was in high school, so we had like Nirvana, but then Weezer comes out and it was a little more accessible. So I love the Blue Album, but then I walked into a Camelot Music, and I was just looking for something. It was '96, and I picked up Pinkerton, and it didn't leave my CD player for 10 years. It may still be in there. I've bought that album more than any other album. I've just continuously just broken it, had it stolen. People have taken it, and I've always had to replace it. There's just something about Pinkerton that is amazing, and I think it also helped that not so much help, but when it came out, it wasn't really well received.
Yeah.
So I thought something was wrong with me because, I'm reading, Rolling Stone was giving it, middling reviews and it didn't really sell well. There's, the stories of it sent Rivers into such a depression that he had to just get himself an apartment and paint the windows black and stay there for a few years. I mean, it almost destroyed the band. So I thought that something was wrong with me for a while for loving it the way I did. But that album is obviously, history has proven that, it comes back around and people finally started to discover it. And I didn't feel as awkward about my immense love. And then from there, it was just, it's nothing but Weezer for me.
Yeah. So the idea of Deprogrammed is we each have put together painstakingly, mind you, our top 10 Weezer songs. This was rather difficult.
Yeah, because I wanted to put everything on there.
You know,
I wanted to put everything from the Blue Album that wasn't Undone, and I actually wanted to put Undone on it.
well, yeah, at some point, I actually toyed with the idea of putting Buddy Holly on because it's that argument of, without Buddy Holly, I don't know who they are, but to me, I still dig Buddy Holly as a song, but it wasn't good enough to even make my honorable mentions. So,
well, I tried very much to take from each album and try to spread it out, which was really hard because it kept going back to, I'm putting this song from Ratitude on, but I'm not putting Get You on.
Yeah.
Had a lot
And
of that.
I fell back into that, and I had to just shut that part of my brain down.
Well, I mean, I know me personally, when I put together my list, they're not necessarily my favorite songs, but I tried to remain as, I know it's all subjective, but I tried to remain as objective as possible, and I picked songs that I thought that were at least trying to explore new territory, or there was some merit to them.
I've got two of those.
Yeah, and even if
specifically
they miss the mark, you can debate that. We can debate that all day. But the very fact that it's what it is,
One
I
of
was
which
like,
is very high up on my list too.
Yeah.
That I think is very different.
what is?
Yeah, me
we'll
too.
We'll get to
My
that.
number
Okay.
one is actually like a very, very different Weezer song, so we'll get there. So, full disclosure, I stopped at Red, because that's where I've stopped.
Yeah.
Like
Simple
and
enough.
It's fair. If you haven't listened to the later stuff, it's not fair.
I didn't want to just go through it and be like, oh, cool, I like this song, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't think that's fair to Weezer, and it's not fair to my list.
Mhm.
I think that they're owed the time for me to sit and actually give their albums a listen. I just haven't gotten around to it. To be fair, it's that way with pretty much everything post 2011, 2012. I started going pretty much all local.
Well, if you go back, check out whatever it was, the last album.
Yeah.
Everything will be all right.
It
in
will
the
be all
end.
right.
Yeah.
So
That's, I mean,
Don't
my
listen to Hurley.
that's my favorite post Pinkerton album.
Oh.
It was Make Believe, which everyone hates. I love Make Believe, but
Well, I've got a
until
theory
everything
about
will be-
Make Believe that I covered on GMYD when we did an hour on Weezer.
Yeah, we did.
Weezer Straight. I think Make Believe is. I think he's parroting. I think he does that a lot.
You
I
he's
think a lot of
parroting?
his later songs, you can kind of tell some of it, I believe, is parody.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think it's actually one of the most sincere albums that Weezer's made, like
Oh,
including
interesting.
Pinkerton.
Interesting.
The complete opposite.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's the Beverly Hills, We Are All on
Sure,
Drugs.
Sure. But then you
Those
have
songs seem very tongue in cheek.
Yeah. But you also have songs like Pardon Me. You have songs like Freak Me Out, songs like My Best Friend, like that are just really very sincere and just very heartfelt. I think, people can see them as cheesy, but I think they can be remorseful but also hopeful. And so to some people that could come off as cheesy, but I think it's pretty heartfelt.
No. Well, for me with Make Believe, I feel like Make Believe has like a strong start, but for me it like just falls apart. Like it just unravels, and I don't know if maybe it's just like one or two songs that like we are all on drugs. Anytime it comes up, it just takes me out. I don't know if it's just the name of the song itself, but it takes me out every time.
I really think those two songs, I think he's just screwing around. Like, I think that they have to be jokes.
And I mean, that's two of the singles, right?
Those were the singles.
Big Believin',
Perfect
Beverly
Situation
Hills
too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which of the three, Perfect Situation, a good song. So let's.
It might be on my list.
Oh, all right. So I want to toss out a couple of these ones that didn't make my list, just to see what we got here. Okay, I added Dreamin' from the Red Album.
Yeah.
The rest of the Red Album I love because it's like you were talking about before. I feel like the rest of the Red Album is them taking chances, like writing a lot of different styles of songs, but Dreamin' sticks out like a sore thumb because it sounds like your prototypical Weezer song.
Yeah.
Like if there was like
it's the opposite.
Yeah, if there's like a Weezer template, it's going to sound like Dreamin'.
Yeah.
And it makes it stick out. So like as I'm listening to the record, I'm going, yeah, that one.
And that really is an eclectic album too, especially with Rivers kind of stepping back from vocals on a couple of the later tracks.
Yeah.
It is, but it isn't though. Like the first maybe minute and a half, 2 minutes is, but then it gets into this weird middle section. It's like almost an extended bridge, and you have Brian coming in with just killer harmonies, and then it slowly builds back into that, and I'm dreaming. It's just, and it really finishes so strong. So it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. What is it? It lands at 8, right? I think 8 of 10.
Yeah.
The like in track
a couple of long
I think
songs.
it's 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think you're thinking of the whatever it is.
Yes.
I'm the dumbest man alive.
Oh.
Whatever the single was. Sometimes their
Porky
titles
Beans
get
was-
too
Oh,
long.
the greatest man that ever lived. Yeah.
That actually
Variations on a shaker theme.
I picked that for my list.
That one
by
was
far.
like that. I think that one was like clocks in at like 8.
Yeah, I love that song. That actually was on my list until the other day. Like it was at number 9, and then something came in and bumped it out. So it's an
Oh.
honorable mention for me.
Do you
I
want
went back and forth on it.
What bumped it, or should we talk about it a little more?
Do you want to? Let's talk about the greatest man that ever lived. I love this song.
I
a
think
good
it's
song.
awesome. I think even if it can sound, even if the beginning loses you with the rapping, or if it sounds a little disjointed, you have to at least respect how they could just meld all these different. Well, I guess the objective of the song was to kind of mimic each different bands.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like a quote unquote like Green Day section, and then there's a Slipknot section, and even the spoken word was inspired by like Elvis Presley, and like just welding all those together. And then the
they're
vocal,
trying for something.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're 100% successful, I mean, obviously, it's one of the singles.
Yeah.
So, and it's a good song. I mean, I realized that there was no way to stay away from singles on the list.
No,
because
they're good songs.
their singles are so strong.
There are, the singles are really, really good.
I get it. Like a lot of them are overplayed, especially when you get into Pinkerton era and Blue Album, and definitely with the Green.
Yeah,
but there's still strong songs, except for Island in the Sun.
I think Island Sun. I picked that as one of the best.
Really?
I think it's.
This is awesome.
I think
love this.
Island in
Really?
the Sun is just.
This is going to be
perfect.
impossible to make a list.
It is, yeah. Island in the Sun to me is a perfect pop song. Like you can't really get better than that.
just to take it back to greatest man that ever lived. When you listen to it as a whole, like when I'm listening to the whole track and just taking it all in, it reminds me of Queen.
Sure.
Like it just epic.
Like it's just bigger.
Yeah, it's not exactly on the same like Queen level, but like it has
Well,
that
for
Queen
Weezer, I
feeling.
mean, they rarely go that big.
It depends. I don't know. I mean, certain sections, I would say like the Bach-inspired like vocal harmony section at the end is crazy. I mean, that's with all those vocal parts weaving in and out of each other. Like that's on the standards of Queen level, I would say. But yeah, I can also see what you mean now.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like it just barely got nudged out. As I was going, because it was one of the first songs I wrote down. I was like, yeah, that one's got to be on there. And then as I'm listening, I'm like, ooh, I got to nudge it out. And I guess we'll talk about what nudged it out. Take Control.
Oh.
Off of Maladroit.
I love Take Control. Yeah.
I tell you what, because also on my honorable mentions is the prior 3 tracks on Maladroit. The first 4 songs to Maladroit are as strong of 4 songs as Weezer may have ever put together.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that American Gigolo? Dope Nose,
Dope
Keep
Nose,
Fishing,
Keep Fishing.
and then,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yep.
It
And
was
then-
very hard. I had the same problem, especially because one of them did make my list, but especially with Dope Nose and Keep Fishing.
See, I picked for Maladroit, my 2 songs are Death and Destruction and December. Those are my favorites from that album.
I got you.
We're all so different.
Yeah.
I actually think this might throw us way off topic, but I think that's what makes Weezer such a great band, because even though, like, let's say a lot of Weezer fans hate their new stuff, they all can't agree on what they hate about the new stuff, and that's so
And
interesting.
I think a lot of times they just hate new stuff.
Well, that too, but I think it's so interesting that people can't even agree on what they hate about it. But I can't think of any other bands that people can't agree on what they hate about them, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting.
All right, so did you say you had Take Control, or it's on an honorable mention, or?
Oh, no, I just
So we
really
haven't
like
rated anything
it.
yet.
I
This
just
is
really
great.
like it, that's all.
I hope we all went the full 20. I think we're gonna need them.
Well, again, that's what I love about this show, though, is because we very clearly have 3 different levels of fandom. I feel like I am straight down the middle between you guys. I think I love this. Okay, so we've got. Let's see. I did Take Control. We did Greatest Man That Ever Lived. All right, so I have a feeling that this is. Oh man, but Zach just said that it didn't land. Burnt Jam.
Yep.
Oh, I like Berg Jam. See, that's the
Boom.
thing. Like, I don't know. It's
Got
hard.
a match on me.
Because I love it, but
I would,
Yeah.
because, I love the song.
Yeah,
it's
I
great.
love it.
Yeah.
I will go back and play it twice whenever.
it's just
It was It's a mellower jam because
Yeah.
I was going back between this and I forget it now, but there was something else I was debating. I wanted to go one or the other, and I went Burnt Jam just because it's a nice mellower jam, and I just dig the song.
So we landed 2 out of 3 with that one. So I'm putting a check by anything that has 2 of us. And while we're doing Maladroit, I'm going to toss this one out there, but I don't know if I know it didn't land with Zach. I'll see if it lands with Matt. Slob.
Slob's great.
Yep.
yeah.
I freaking love Slob.
Slob is there.
Like Slob is the song on the record that actually speaks directly to me.
I think that may have been the song I was going back and forth with Burnt Jam.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up going with Burnt Jam just because it was mellower. Slob's got this harshness to it,
Yeah.
that I dig, but I ended up I couldn't not put it on the list.
Yeah.
It's just the message, you know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't pull any punches with it. It's just a harsh song, but I love it.
Well, what's the line? Waiting for little clues to appear that I drank some of Granddaddy's beer.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that exact, thing, but I don't know, just something about that line always jumped out at me, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm right where you're at. Like,
yeah.
Get yourself a job.
get yourself a job, get yourself a wife. You're living a dream. Don't you be a slob. And that right there has encompassed my adult life.
Yeah.
So that's me. All right, so like I'm not landing anything. Let's see if Zach wants to toss a couple out and see if we have some crossing paths.
Well, I was gonna say, "Freak Me Out." I'm surprised you didn't. Did you put that?
Well,
on
that's
your
number
list?
one.
That's number one.
That's
Great.
number one with a bullet for me.
Yeah, "Freak Me Out." It's awesome.
Didn't make it on mine.
I'm putting a mark by it. It's on 2 of ours. Freak Me Out is talk about different Weezer tunes. Like again, like as even with like the different type of stuff that they tried out on Make Believe, even with all that, Freak Me Out still sticks out as, man, that one's different.
Yeah.
And again, it's that message of,
It's weird because it was another song for me
just leave me alone. Yeah.
on Make Believe that sticks out as being completely different, and probably the difference, and where the difference, I'll tell you where I'm going to differ from all of you guys, and it's where I've always differed, is I'm way more pop, and I think that's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And why I didn't pick Freak Me Out, and I picked another song.
Okay. All right. So
Oh.
Freak Me Out is on 2 of ours, so I'm putting a mark by it.
Freak Me Out's great because I think it's, if my memory serves me right, it's like really the first track, if maybe only track that Weezer really dedicated to like the atmosphere of the song, like city streets at night with all the harmonics, and then the like light soft harmonica solo and stuff. It really feels like you're walking down abandoned streetway at night,
and you just run into somebody. Hey, man, I know you don't mean me no harm, but
well, I think that's it's going back to the sincerity of it. Like it really is a song that deals with a person's prejudices. Like you assume things about somebody, and it's based off of fear, but then you come to realize, like, oh no, like.
This is a me
really
problem.
Freak me out, but it's a me problem. Yeah, so I think it's a very unique and beautiful way to express that.
It's a gorgeous song.
Yeah, it's a very gorgeous song.
I love that song. But yeah, that's my number one with a bullet.
Cool.
What else you got, Zach?
Let's see.
One of these days we're gonna land one.
Well, I'm trying to.
I think I've
It's
got
like
an
a
atom
chess game.
bomb. I've got an atom bomb on here. I've got a couple that can't possibly.
Well, okay. Well,
miss.
No other one. Nobody.
No other one fell into my Pinkerton thing.
No,
Yeah, I
okay.
tried-
Where me trying to stay away from
I
Pinkerton.
think I've got like
okay.
5 Pinkerton tracks,
Yeah,
and I was
okay.
like, I don't want to put any more.
I didn't. Well, my Pinkerton tracks are kind of different. I've got one of my Pinkerton tracks is "Tired of Sex"
Oh hell yeah!
because I couldn't not
Track
put
1.
it on there, and it's another track 1.
That's my second favorite Weezer song of all time. That's number 2.
Cool.
Love that song. What a great track 1 too.
It's a great opening.
Way to kick into the album.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally wanted to put every opening song on.
Yeah.
They know how to open an album.
So that's lands on 2 of us. Did Tired of Sex land on yours?
Nah.
Oh God, I love
We're
it.
so close.
I love it. You want to toss out a couple more? Zach?
Yeah. I'm trying to see. How about sticking with the Pinkerton era? Just Throughout the Love of My Dreams.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Is that like a B-side?
It is.
It is a B-side.
That's why
It is.
It was.
why it's
It was
not
on
me.
the deluxe.
Ah.
Yeah, well, it was released as a B-side to The Good Life. It was
Yeah.
one of the only. I think it's the only songs from the Black Hole song that got the proper like recording
Yeah.
and a proper release.
Do you have any other Black Hole songs?
I don't.
I have one more that's one of my. It's literally one of my favorites, and I'm guessing it's not going to hit with Justin.
Unfortunately, and it's not because I don't like it; it's because I haven't heard
You
it.
haven't heard it, yeah.
But also, like, Rivers doesn't sing lead on that. That's
No.
Rachel Hayden from That Dog,
Oh.
who,
Yeah, he
and-
sings backup.
yeah,
It's a
that's
fantastic song.
actually what I love when you can hear him in the
Yeah,
background.
it's-
It's so
I-
good.
Justin, you got to. I think definitely tomorrow look that song up. I think you'd really dig it.
Oh yeah.
If you would have known this one, I think it would have landed.
Oh, unfortunately. All right, so let's have Matt toss some out and see if we land any.
Well, sticking with B-sides, or at least a rarity, I went Blue Album era and Jamie.
Definitely not on mine.
Not on mine, but it's a great one though.
It's a good song though.
It's a great one. I like the acoustic version better.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like me some production. What do I got? I gotta have something that's gonna hit. Well, okay, yeah, we'll go Pinkerton. I think this is a match across the sea.
Okay, yeah, I got
I
that.
don't see how Justin couldn't have put across the sea.
No, I didn't. But again, it's that Pinkerton. Like I kept looking at it and
I
looking
know.
at it and looking at it.
And that's what broke me on putting a few Pinkerton was I can't justify not putting across the sea. There's so much feeling in that song. There's so much angst, and frustration. You can really feel the frustration in that song. And it's just a beautiful song that I can't believe you hate.
Don't hate it, obviously.
Okay, well let's go back a little to Blue. What Surf Wax America?
Oh yeah, that's number 3.
Uh-oh. I didn't hear anything over here.
No, that's it on my list now. Even though I love it. Yeah, again, it's one of those things like I love it, but it got edged out.
I like
It's
the
amazing. I love
there's a live recording that they did that I absolutely love. Where in the middle of it you can hear some dude just
Yeah,
yelling
smoke
out about
dope.
smoking dope.
Smoke
You can
dope.
hear
Yeah.
you can hear the bottles being thrown away when it gets low. But that song's amazing just because he structured it like a wave, the way it builds and builds, and then just crashes.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
But not enough for your list.
Not left on my list.
Nope. You want
Okay.
to toss out another one or
Yeah, sure.
okay?
I don't want to say my number one. I'm gonna say my number one. I think you know my number one.
Yeah, I think so too. And if it's what I think it is, it's on my honorable mention.
So we can technically land.
Yeah,
I can land one right now. I'm gonna save
it's a
it.
chess game. It's fun. I
I'm gonna
love it.
save it. I'm gonna save it.
It's like a game and a really fun conversation.
Okay, well, and a lot of times, what really, especially going back and listening to it, but definitely when I listened to Make Believe, there was one song that really stuck out to me because there's synth and it's not quite structured like a Weezer song, and that's This Is Such a Pity.
Oh, that's a great one.
I love that.
It's on my honorable mention.
Honorable mention. My honorable mention, I actually picked the two Blue Album B-sides.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I went Suzanne and Michael and Carly.
Suzanne. I was searching for the name. I was thinking of the name in my head whenever I started my list. Then I let myself get deep into everything else. Okay, so
I feel like I struck out. Justin, it's back to you.
it's tough, man, but it's fun.
Very tough. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so like, I'm gonna go back to my list, and I've got two more Pinkertons on my list. So I'm gonna toss those out and see if we can land one. I've got Get You on my list. No
It's
Zach.
so close. It was I didn't,
Oh,
and I don't know why.
It's
It's
a
one of my
complete
favorite
strikeout.
songs.
complete strikeout.
But it's one of my favorite songs. It didn't make the list because
The same thing with Across the Sea.
I was trying to put other stuff and trying to be. I mean, I'm not saying that I like any of this later stuff that I added better,
yeah.
but I can't just put 20 Pinkerton tracks,
Yeah.
especially because there's only like 10.
Yeah. Well, let me trot out Why Bother at you guys.
Again, same problem.
No, Why Bother?
Nah.
Okay.
It would have been if I was just doing Pinkerton.
Let's see. What else do I have on my list?
And
All right.
you know what? I wish I had put Why Bother because that's got one of my the opening lyrics of that. I know I should get next to you.
Yeah.
You got a look that makes me think you're cool.
But it's just sexual attraction.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I made my list.
It would have made my list if I wasn't dumb.
Aw.
I'll put it on them right here. Boom, it made my list.
Oh. Making the change on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark by it then. That counts, technically. Okay, so we haven't even
I think I only had 18. That's fine.
we
I can
haven't
cheat.
we haven't worked our way into Green at all. So I'm gonna toss this one out. Actually, I think Matt already alluded to this, so I think we may have something here. Don't Let Go, track 1.
Got it.
Don't Let Go.
It's a good one, but no, not on my list.
It's always 2 of 3. It's always 2 of 3. Well, at least we don't have any we don't have many just complete wipeouts. But
I've got this one. It's Undone, the sweater song. Have you guys ever heard that one? Is that on your lists?
no. Well, let's go back to Zach and see what you got. You want to toss a couple one?
Yeah, I want to toss out some new ones because I want at least talk about them. Future Scope Trilogy. Nothing.
Not familiar.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Which
I guess it's off of Everything Will Be Alright in the End. It's the closer, and
I only have one.
it's
Everything will be okay.
it's just
all right.
wonderful though. It's like 3 movement mini guitar symphony. Like it's nuts.
It's a much better album than I was giving it credit for.
I just think as far as the writing and the orchestration of it all.
Well, I'll go ahead and throw what I've got. I actually picked I've Had It Up to Here.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that song. And again, I picked it because it's just a little bit different than what the normal Weezer song is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, tough but you know, you take a swing. You take a swing. You never know.
You never know.
Go in the corner and fuck myself. Okay. How about
I think we can all agree though, new Weezer isn't nearly as bad as everyone tries to
absolutely
pretend
not.
it is.
I
think they really get a bad rap when it comes to other people.
I think Everything Will Be Alright in the End is my second favorite album. I think Pinkerton. I think it beats Blue for me, just because. I don't get me wrong, Blue's a close.
I think it's
but
tough for anything to beat Blue and Pinkerton for me, just because of the age I was.
Yeah, I think even before Everything Will Be Alright in the End, I liked Blue and Pinkerton the best, but I spent most of my time listening to newer Weezer, if that makes sense. Just because I listened to Blue and Pinkerton so much that it got to a point where I listened to Make Believe and Maladroit probably way more than the Blue album.
Oh, Maladroit.
You know?
Well, we were having this conversation last week that Maladroit is just an amazing album that gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with its proximity to the Green album.
Yeah.
And it had that unfortunate I don't know if you guys remember, but the band released it before and got in a lot of trouble. They released it for free on the internet. It's like, boom, here you go. Here's Maladroit. And the record company did not like that. So,
I don't remember that.
I like radio stations were playing Dope Nose early based off of what they released, and then when Maladroit finally came out, the Dope Nose that we finally got was really pumped up. I mean, the production it was a very different version.
Interesting.
And I think that its proximity to the Green album just kind of overshadows it a little.
Gotcha. Yeah.
With the Green album being that kind of triumphant return.
Well,
after Pinkerton.
I remember people still kind of shitting on it because when the Green album came out, I guess, whatever, if you want to call them the true fans or whatever, were disappointed because it didn't sound like Blue or Pinkerton. And then they go, okay, there's another Weezer coming out like at the very next year. Okay, great, here's another shot. And then it's like a metal influenced album, and it didn't sound. And so I think people were double pissed off.
I don't know what people want. I don't know why people. I don't know what this thing is where people want the exact same thing all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it because I love those albums just as much as anyone else, but those albums are still there.
Yep.
I mean, why do you want them to? Why don't you? I think that's why I gravitated on some of the newer albums to some of the more experimental sounds, or where they didn't do the Weezer 3-minute pop song.
I'm gonna toss. Well, let's see. I think we already tossed out the first 4 tracks of Maladroit, so I can go ahead and cross those off because it didn't land.
Yeah, because I got Dope Nose.
Oh, you do?
I do have Dope Nose.
Okay, so
I was trying to pick one. I went with Dope Nose.
All right, so I'm gonna put a check next to Dope Nose because it landed. All right, I'm gonna go back to the well. This is one of my honorable mentions. Butterfly.
I have Butterfly.
Aha!
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Big thumbs down.
Just
from
doesn't
Matt
even.
over here.
Does it just make you too sad, or?
Yeah, I don't need that.
I think it's a nice palate
I don't
cleanser.
need that.
It's
Because-
so sad.
Because how often are you gonna listen to Pinkerton only once? Like if you're listening to it on the disc specifically,
Uh-huh.
I think it's a nice palate cleanser. Right at the end of the record, you've got a nice little, butterfly, and then it
Right
comes
before-
right back into Tired of Sex.
Sure.
Your second or
Sure.
third time
I
around.
think
Okay.
even
That way.
without that, I think it's a
I'm
perfect
bummed.
closer because it really is. Again, I think it's the most sincere song on the record,
Yeah.
and it's obviously the most quiet, but I think it's just a great cap of what the whole album like truly boils down to.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, and especially when you see what happens to Weezer as a band and Rivers as a person, just over the course of the band's career. you
Yes.
just- I don't know. I
What's
think
sad?
yeah, but that's what's great about it.
Yeah, I don't like sad songs.
Okay. But 2 of 3 of us had it, so it's getting a pass because
I'm not gonna fight you on it.
Yeah, I'll say
It's
this:
Pinkerton.
nothing of us, not a single song has landed on all 3 of us yet.
Wow.
Not a single song that anybody has tossed out. I'll toss out one more, and then
I
we'll,
got one that has to be on all 3.
okay. Well, you go ahead then.
Only in Dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got that.
Has
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
It has one of the most perfect lines with you can't avoid her. She's in the air, in between molecules of oxygen and carbon dioxide.
I think it's also. I mean, of
That's a beautiful
course,
line.
It is a beautiful line. I think of again that arrangement of guitars at the end and the build up is just. I know the word genius gets thrown around a lot, but it really is the work of genius, especially because it's disguised as really not that complicated, but it's really complicated
Yeah.
if you try to play it, especially Lil Pants actually tried to cover that, and we even brought in an extra guitarist to help out. And it's so funny, I'm not going to name names, but there are some people that are like, oh, this is so easy. Like, Weezer has the same formula, blah, blah, blah. And then we start trying to play that song, and they're like, oh, fuck. Like, wait, how, what's the count again? Or like, what? And they we couldn't get it right. And it's like, yeah, see? It's a lot harder.
So Only in Dreams, the first one that lands on all 3 of us.
That's my number 1 Weezer song.
Yeah.
Yep. Every time I get choked up.
Well, it's a great way to close out a record too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice and lumbering, and it's a little. Hate to use the word, but dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be the point. Well, okay. I feel like this isn't going to land now since you threw out Only in Dreams. In the Garage. Anybody else got In the Garage?
No, mine, yeah.
I struggled with it
Yeah.
just for Kitty Pryde reference alone.
And what about Kiss? Your favorite rock group?
Da 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 da.
Do-do-do-do-do.
That's so funny.
Okay. I'm totally whiffing here. All right. Well, I'm almost out of songs. I'm going to toss this one because it's actually on my list. Knockdown Dragout from the Green Album.
I can see it.
Take no prisoners in this
Yeah,
Knockdown Dragout.
I can
war.
see that.
Oh,
Great, yeah. Again, like all these are great. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I'm
no,
just
I don't
going for it.
disagree with you at all.
My name
but
is Jonas.
not on my list.
No.
mine.
Photograph.
No, that's not.
I don't know.
No,
Photograph.
you don't even like it?
I like Photograph. It just didn't make
Single.
my list. Yeah. Actually, I think that's probably Green Album singles really took a hit with me because they just got a lot. Although Photograph of the singles from Green didn't get as much play.
My other Black Hole song is Blast Off, which is one of my
Oh,
favorite
that's a
Weezer
good
songs.
one.
I think I've heard it once, but that was long ago.
I'm going. I'm just going.
Go.
Troublemaker. That's my red album.
Almost made it
So
Good
close.
one.
So close.
for that same reason. It's a great opening.
Perfect
track.
situation. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Doubt. My only gratitude put me back together.
You know that's not
a
on
good
mine.
one, but
You don't like it?
no.
I don't.
Oh,
No
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
And I'm out.
Wow.
All right, so
Start blasting through them.
blasting through one. Okay, Holiday.
Oh,
I could see that.
I can
I
totally
can see it.
Holiday. No.
All right. Okay, I'm going to do the new one. So Island of the Sun was definitely a no for everybody.
Yeah.
Island of the Sun?
can't.
Yeah, he hates it.
I
But
can't stand it because
And
it.
my one gratitude.
Put it on a cruise ship.
If you're wondering if I want you to, I want you to.
I loved the song, and it was on my list all day until the very end.
Yeah, that that's yeah, that's just one of the best
I ended up
singles
going.
ever.
I ended up going with Put Me Back Together instead.
Miss Sweeney from the Red Deluxe Edition.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why I don't have the deluxe.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
I'm not
too.
as good a fan.
I picked the one track I got from Hurley was "Runaway." Anybody familiar with that?
Nothing is going on this list from Hurley.
Matt will
I
fight.
like that. I actually
I can't stand Hurley.
like Hurley, but
Is that something that like needs time? You need to like
I think
let it
you
simmer?
I think you just need to let
Sure.
it go. I think you need
been
to
10
let go of
years.
all expectations and really take it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, because I like it. I enjoy the songs. Not every song. There are like one or two.
You know what I
but
haven't tried? I haven't tried listening to it and pretending it's like a different band.
I think maybe
Maybe
yeah.
that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
It sounds silly, but
I'm
maybe.
gonna think that I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna pretend that it's a Kiss
Actually,
album.
with even no,
Wow, this is the
that's
only
not
Kiss
actually
album I
true.
like.
If you take it as just a collection of songs, like "Hang On" is a straightforward pop song. Like, I'm
Maybe
surprised-
that's my problem, and I like my Weezer albums to be albums,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
and
definitely
that
not
could
the case.
very much be the case.
Mhm.
Ah.
Private Message. That's one of the unreleased songs. Anybody familiar with that one? It
I'm
was,
not familiar with.
it was-
Suzanne's the only one I got.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Private Message, I would recommend listening to that. That is part of a collection of songs that were recorded as demos, and it was before. It was the album that was supposed to come after Maladroit, but then they took time off, and it didn't
Dumped
make
it.
it to Make Believe. Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
it got released online, and that song's amazing. Always Green album release. Or,
I mean,
I guess
I don't hate it.
technically, yeah.
I don't hate it.
And then my honorable mentions were December. British Are Coming. That has my favorite.
That's a
that
good
has my
song.
favorite Weezer guitar solo. Is the British Are
I
Coming.
can see that.
That's
I
my
could totally see that.
That's my favorite. The tone and the.
I
that.
flirted with that, and then I ended up with I've had it up to here instead.
Okay.
But it was very, very close.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think I've had enough time with that album yet
Okay.
to really latch on. I that's probably the album I'll be playing on repeat this week.
Yeah. I had Dreamin' as an honorable mention.
Oh.
And then
It's close enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it.
the other
mark
two
by it.
are. Actually, an honor. I had Brave New World from Hurley too.
It's a lot of Hurley.
It's a lot of
Way too much Hurley.
And I had Burning Sun. That was another. I think it was about to be on Green Album, but then didn't quite make it, and then eventually just leaked on the internet. But that's a good one too. But anyways, that's. Oh, I do have like No One Else, Paperface.
Oh, no one else. I got no one else.
No One Else.
I
You got
don't
some
have no
honorable
one
mention?
else, but I can't fight it.
I have The Good Life.
I went Tired of Sex over The
Ah.
Good Life. I felt like I couldn't put them both.
Fallen for You.
Yeah, it's a great song.
No.
You know, other than
It's a
I feel
great
like
song.
other than
It's
Island in the
great, yeah.
Sun, that's the only.
Is
other
this
than
just a testament to how robust their catalog is?
See, that's what I was thinking,
Yeah,
like,
it's
when you really get into it, it's
This show has been absolutely fascinating because I did Local H last week, and I thought for sure that it's going to be simple. There's like it was hard for me to put my list together, but there's going to be Cross, and no, there was like nothing.
copacetic. Just that one. It was just that 10 times,
Even the Smashing Pumpkins one was really super hard. So like,
which doesn't make any sense because you just
Don't
go
even. Don't even.
1978.
No, you son of a bitch. All right, so I want to run down a couple.
Cherub Rock.
The last song on my list, on my top 10, is "The World Has Turned and Left Me Here."
Yeah, it should be on my list. It's not, but it should be.
I'm guessing it's not on yours, Zach.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna just
It
cross
really
out.
should be though.
Crab, off Green Album.
Yeah, it should be on my list. If I could go another 20,
Crab at
Yeah,
the booty,
right.
tain't gonna do no good.
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't go against anything you put here.
I mean, that's how I feel.
It's not like you're putting Hurley tracks.
Did you
I'm
tap out
trying.
the well over there,
Yeah,
Zach?
yeah.
Okay,
I
so
tried everything I got.
let's go through what we have checks by, and we'll try to narrow it down to 10. The only one
We
that's
do have one.
Only in Dreams is in. That's number one because it actually landed on all three of ours. Okay, so songs that at least two of us liked: Across the Sea,
Mm-hmm.
Freak Me Out, Tired of Sex, Surf Wax America, Slob, Burnt Jam, The Greatest Man That Ever Lived, Dope Nose, No One Else, Butterfly, Don't Let Go, Dreamin', and Such a Pity. So let's see. What does that work out to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got a.
You got cut
five.
5 songs.
So is there anything that jumps out at you immediately that you're like, no, fuck that song. It's out.
Can you read it again?
Sure. Across the Sea,
Oh, fuck that song.
Freak Me Out, Tired of Sex, Surf Wax America, Slob, Burnt Jam, The Greatest Man That Ever Lived, Dope Nose, No One Else, Butterfly, Don't Let Go, Dreamin', Such a Pity.
My first
Feel like
instinct.
no one else.
You're trying to ask no one else?
Yeah.
See, my
Okay.
first instinct is to cut a Maladroit track.
Yeah? So
We are
got-
Maladroit heavy.
I would say probably I don't know, Slob or Dope Nose.
I feel like I feel like you go Dope Nose in this. Cut it.
That's
Cut the-
solo though. Dope Nose.
I
is
know, and the
fucking
production is
awesome.
so good on
I f-
Dope Nose.
Yeah, I feel like Slob is deeper.
Slob's deeper for sure, but
We're not going
I
for
love a
cred,
tasty
we're going-
solo.
No, that's what I'm saying is, Slob's deeper.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like
As far as me, if we're gonna go just personal, for me personally, Dope Nose is the better song. It's the one I've listened to way more.
I would go Dope Nose.
And actually, when we were going through this, Slob is on my list. Dope Nose is an honorable mention. But when I went through it, Dope Nose had to go on because I was like,
Mhm.
man, this was a single and I've heard it a lot, but damn, it's a good effing single.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll axe Slob. Okay, so Dope Nose is in at number 2. All right, so we need 8 more. Do I need to go through them, or is there?
Maybe one more time. Or
Matt,
wait,
Matt wanted to
yeah.
axe no one else.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that? Because it was
I feel
me and
like
you.
no one else. I think if you're looking at no one else as far as Pinkerton tracks, I can
Oh wait,
skip over no one
that's
else.
no one else is the blue, but no
Yeah.
other ones.
Oh,
to
oh.
Pinkerton. Yeah.
Never mind.
I really like no one else. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so what do we have from Blue here? We got Only in Dreams. We got.
Oh my god! Now I'm all backwards on those songs.
Surf Wax America. Okay, so the three blues are Surf Wax America, No One Else, and Only in Dreams, which actually landed. Are you
I
feeling?
think
That's
I think out of those 3, probably cut no one else. Surf Wax.
So good.
That's so good, and that ending.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
it has
hard.
that strong.
It's hard to
yeah.
cut Surf Wax.
I'm shedding a tear right now. Cutting no one else, but I think Surf
I've got
Wax.
no other one stuck in my head so hard that I can't get no one else in it.
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now all I can think of for Surf Wax America is no other one. It's the only Weezer song I can think of.
Drink some water. Calm down.
I get that a lot.
All right, so let's go see what we have here from Pinkerton. Across the Sea, Tired of Sex, and Butterfly. And we know how Matt feels about Butterfly.
This is so sad. It's a pretty song, though.
It is.
If you're gonna go with pretty songs, I guess.
Well,
I
of-
would
of
say
the 3.
I would say Tired of Sex. Again, I shed another tear, but
That's tough.
it's.
I just feel like that's such a hot open.
So tough. I can't.
it's such a great opener. But as
can't
far
cut
as
openers,
as far as just greatly, very emotionally expressive, aptly emotionally expressive songs. Across the Sea and Butterfly are just.
Yeah. Like now, the
Yeah.
more I'm thinking about Across the Sea, the more upset I am at myself for not having it initially on my list, or at least on my honorable mentions. So it would have made it fair.
If
and
we're
square.
going by emotions, I guess you gotta lose Tired of Sex.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to.
But it's such a good song.
But just a great song, and that fucking
such a good song.
solo again.
Why are we
solo
only doing
is
10?
great.
Let's do 11.
1, 2,
So, I don't
3,
know.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Was it Tired of Sex that had that acoustic version that was going around forever? I get confused. That's so long ago.
That's no other one.
That was like 20 years ago.
No, wait, no one else. Sorry, wait. That's
There's no way. Don't do this to me. I'll never
I mean,
be able to hear
Surfwax.
another.
I mean, Surfwax.
I'll never be able to hear another Weezer song.
Oh my
ever
God,
again.
it's 57 already, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what we got. Okay, Across the Sea.
Do we have a host for the next show?
Yeah. Where is he? Across the Sea. Freak Me Out.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of Sex. Surfwax America. We decided Surfwax is in, right?
Has to be.
Yeah.
Surfwax is in.
Yeah, I think I'll fight you guys if you try to take it off. Let's get violent.
Okay, so let's see. Only in Dreams is in. Dope Nose is in. Across the Sea is in. Surfwax America is in. So that's 4. We asked Slob. Burnt Jam. Anybody have a strong feeling one way or the other?
I feel like that there's stronger titles on there. There's stronger songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is the unfortunate part
Yeah.
where we got to just start Sophie's choicing it.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm looking at the bottom of the list.
It's
such a pity. Like,
I would definitely not ask. This is such a pity over Burnt Jam.
No.
Exactly.
Neither, yeah.
because while like on equal footing looking at them and listening to them, they're equal footing as songs.
Yeah.
I think just the creativity of This Is Such a Pity gets it in,
Yeah.
as opposed to what Burnt Jam is.
I'm all for that.
Okay, so that one hurt.
That did hurt. That was a bad one. I felt that in the gut.
Okay, Across the Sea. Nobody's arguing out Freak Me Out, so I guess Freak Me
I
Out's
think
in
that should stay.
for that
Yeah.
same reason. It's different.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Surfwax America. 6 for Only in Dreams. 7 for Such a Pity. Okay, so
we got
Don't Let Go. Butterfly. Oh, Dope Nose was in. So we're at 8. We got 2 left.
Butterfly was in, right?
Butterfly. So 9. All right, so what's
the
left?
last? Okay, just
We've
give it to us.
We got the last 2 are The Greatest Man That Ever Lived or Don't Let Go.
Greatest man that ever lived.
I feel
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think as far as epic songs, you have to go take the epic one.
And
don't
I
you?
feel like we've got so many comparable songs to Don't Let Go.
Yeah. Wow. We did it, gents.
Wait, what's the
It's
final
10.
list?
Okay, so running it down, no particular order. Across the Sea, Freak Me Out, Tired of Sex. Did we lose Tired of Sex?
We did.
We
I
did.
thought.
Okay,
Does that mean we have a spot?
maybe. Across the Sea, Freak Me Out, Surfwax America. Gone. Definitely Greatest Man That Ever Lived. 1, 2, 3. Read My Chicken Scratch. 4. Dope Nose. 5. Butterfly. 6. Only in Dreams. 7. Such a Pity. 8. I'm missing something else. Did I say Freak Me Out? Across the Sea. 1. Freak Me Out. 2. God dang it. Surfwax America. 3.
Put letters next to them. Numbers.
I am, but like the paper's falling apart.
Oh, well,
So that doesn't help me. You know what
seems
I'm
like
gonna
seems like a problem with your paper.
do? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna write them down.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Across the Sea. This is great for radio.
Yes.
Across the Sea. Number 1. Across the Sea. 2. Freak Me Out. Freak Me Out, man. You really freak me out. So afraid of you. Let's see. Surfwax America. Yeah, there's no way that one's coming out. That's just too great of a song. Surfwax America. Where are we? Greatest Man That Ever Lived. Greatest Man That's 4. Dope Nose 5.
Yeah, we're just compiling lists on there.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Don't
Radio
mind
Free
us.
Radio.
Butterfly 6.
It's the Dead Air Show.
Well, Butterfly 6. Only in Dreams 7. Okay, so we made cuts that we didn't need to make. Only in Dreams is 7.
We got 3 spots somehow.
And such a pity's 8. We have 2
Okay,
more.
we got 2 spots. Okay, so Don't Let Go gets back in.
Overtired of Sex.
No.
No, that's dumb. Tired
Yeah.
of Sex.
Tired of
gets back
Sex
in.
gets back in. And then what else did we cut?
Let's see. Of Sex. And what else cut? Let's see. Burnt Jam. Slob. What else got cut at the end? No one else. No one else. That one hurt a little bit. Burnt Jam hurt. Don't Let Go. Dreamin'. Yeah. Slob. Okay, Burnt Jam. No one else. Burnt Jam or no one else?
No one else.
No other one.
No.
We're going no one else. There we go. And I'm just gonna
No
give
other
fun-
else.
3, 4,
You gotta
5,
pull the
6,
damn album
7,
up to
8,
figure out
9, 10.
why I can't.
Oh my God, we went long. Sorry, Shakespeare.
A little bit.
All right, so I'm gonna run this down real quick, and then we're wrapped. Across the Sea, Freak Me Out, Surf Wax America, Greatest Man That Ever Lived, Dope Nose, Butterfly, Only in Dreams, Such a Pity, Tired of Sex, No One Else.
Woo! I don't agree
Wowzers.
with any of that.
What band is this?
We did it. We did it somehow.
I feel like that was way too much work.
It was. It was. It's another week of deprogrammed down. We're gonna get out of here. Shakespeare's coming up with Dead Week with Shakespeare, and we'll be right back. It's Radio Free Radio.
For truthful